Friends, in continuation with the Contract Labor Abolition Act and its consequences, the tendency of the employers to engage more and more contract laborers, as I told earlier, has become the order of the day. As a result, the traditional concept of employer-employee is no more in force. Employers are looking for freelance employers without an employer-employee relationship. That is where the concept of now employers are looking for task orientation. It is no more employment orientation. The concept of employer-employee relationship and a fixed monthly salary is slowly disappearing, except some organized sector. Even in the organized sector, you look at Uber, Zomato, and so many multinational companies have started their operation and they are paid for the service rendered without an employer-employee relationship. When you talk about employer-employee relationship, the traditional concept, the employer control and supervise the employee. The employer can take disciplinary action. Their access to social security. So more and more freelancers are going to come in the future in a freelance economy like India too. The concept of freelance engagement is throughout in the world. It is not only India alone. In America also, in US, in Japan, in all of the developed countries, the engagement of the freelancers have become more and more, and that is why California, a state legislation has been introduced by the California state, wherein the social security for the freelancers have been emphasized. And probably with that in mind, the government of India also, the present government, thought to have a social security for the freelancers like Uber, Zomato, etc., etc. So really that is a very, very advanced outlook of the government of India. Because the economy is changing. The traditional concept of employer-employee is no more in force. We are all concerned with the task. It is no more employment. It is task orientation. If you complete the task, you will be paid this much amount. So no employer, more and more employers are happy to fix up the task rather than not coming to the office and sitting from 9 to 5 o'clock. It is slowly disappearing. And softwares, technology has also advanced to such a level. Now you can measure every individual's job. Don't think that you can only measure the output of an employee to a certain categories only. A stage has come, softwares have developed in such a way that we can measure the performance or the output of every employee, every category of employees. And a stage we are going to a stage where employers tend to have task orientation rather than employment orientation. Then the larger question arises, what about the social security? In a welfare state, social security concept is all the more important. So that is why even California government thought to have a separate social security wherein the state take care of such freelancers. Furthermore, if you look at, it is really very interesting. There is a paradigm shift from the old concept of employer-employee relationship to a freelance economy without an employer-employee relationship. So we are undergoing a different stage of the economy where the traditional concept of employer-employee is no more in force, and all our HR personnel managers should be more equipped how to handle that freelancers. After all, freelancers contribute for an organization, and when the freelancers how to control and supervise and how to deliver maximum output from the freelancers has become a different task. So technology plays a very important role than the traditional concept of employer-employee relationship. Employment is the concept of employment is also undergoing a vast, very fast change. And unless the personal managers, the HR managers dealing with the human resources should also be equipped with to such a change, such a phenomenal change of a permanent employer-employer relationship to a traditional employer-employer relationship to a freelance relationship where there is no employer-employer relationship. So what I'm trying to tell you to all of my dear friends is the technology is going to change, the skill set of the employees is going to change. The result orientation of the employees change. The assessment part of the employees is changed. And as a result, the personal managers, HR managers dealing with the human resources should not only be harping on a few labor statutes alone. They will have to think something more than the labor statutes for an effective implementation and effective result orientation in their function. Thank you very much.